This is the original that was in the book People of the Sturgeon. This one I just made the other day. It's 1,649. And this is kind of what they look like nowadays. My decoys are all over the world. Russia, Vienna, Newfoundland. That golden dark one there's one of them in the World Hall of Fame up in Boulder Junction, is that? Oshkosh Museum, Appleton Museum. Sturgeon decoy. Light stain, white dots and tacks. And there's a whole list of different ones. Shad blue, pink stripe with glitter on. In the 50s, I got into bow hunting, quite heavy, and duck hunting. And that was before there was plastic decoys. So they were all old cedar decoys. We used to make our own decoys. The boss at work says, I need a sturgeon decoy. Well, I knew what sturgeon was. My dad never sturgeon speared, but I remember him bringing home some sturgeon when we were kids. We went down to the maintenance shop in the company down in the basement and made a sturgeon decoy, and then another guy asked for one, and that's kind of the way it started, and it's been going on for many years. It's not that I'm looking to sell them. It's just people call and want one, and I started about 10 years ago cutting my own lumber and wood. Cured for a year, saw it into blocks like this. So I lay out a pattern like on the top here. That's a pattern I've been using for good 40 or 50 years, one with a turned up nose. And you cut back to there and back to there, and those 4 cuts, plus a cut for the tail if you're putting a metal tail in, then you'd cut this side off on the side, and that'll fall off. You cut this side off and that falls off. And you just break it off, just break it apart. And usually if your fins are set right, a little bit of an angle, that decoy will scoot forward. They swim. Never saw a sturgeon. To that time, I had never seen a sturgeon in the water. Mostly I went to try to see how my decoys swim in the camaraderie, meeting with the guys that I got to know. Opening morning, we were looking down there, and he was sitting there with me, and he had just moved the decoy, We were trying what we call a die-on shad. It's like that's the one right there. And he said, there's one. And I just caught it, and it went right around, it came and went right around that decoy. And I yelled, is it big enough? He says, yeah, throw the spear. So I speared between my legs and got it. And that was the first sturgeon I ever saw, and the first sturgeon I ever get, and I quit. That was it. Bucket list, been there, done that. I don't have the patience for it. You sit there for hours. Some guys will go 10, 15 years, never see one. But they said I did pretty good for first one. So you take a knife and you draw it down there, a smoke shaved, gets it nice and smooth. And then you sand it down, cut the gills in, whatever decoration, if you're putting something on the tail or, lines like a fins. I used to do a glow-in-the-dark one, and that got popular. And I said to Ron, is it legal to do a glow-in-the-dark? He says, yeah, that's legal. And he says, and if you make one, I want one. Some guy said, it's my son's birthday, and all he does is drink. Yeah, I mean, he's a Pabst Blue Ribbon man. Could you make me a Pabst Blue Ribbon decoy? And I said, yeah, okay. And I made out 2 of them right away. Some guy seen it and said, hey, you gotta make me one of them. So I made another. And then meanwhile, a friend of his called and said, well, I want one of them. So I made about 4 Pabst Blue Ribbon, and I don't drink beer, but I had to go get some beer cans, and someone will get this off me. pay for my gas and my supplies. I have to sell a few, you know, just, I don't make any money on it. It's just, it's for the camaraderie and the fun, and I really enjoy people saying, hey, you know, got my sturgeon with your decoy, and now my buddy wants one, and I want, you know, it's a nice feeling. It's kind of nice to leave a little something back to this earth before you pass on. That's my look at it. We're an asset or a deficit for having been born, I guess. I'd rather be an asset than a deficit.